Here's the sign to Aurora. Now there's another road that breaks off over here, and you cannot take your car on this one. Minimum maintained road, Nevada State Law 403.170, four-wheel drive only, travel at your own risk. That's going to Bodie. So this is the back way over to Bodie. Actually doesn't look that bad. It probably gets pretty rough up in that canyon, but there's some spots up there, that's why. Oh, it's so much fun to go up there. I don't have four-wheel drive though. But we're going to Aurora. But that's the back way to Bodie. I think Bodie actually is up. See that big hill without the trees? It's up in there. Here we have a plaque commemorating the town of Aurora, Nevada, which is no longer here. No one's living here now. But Aurora, founded in 1860, was claimed by both California and Nevada. In 1861, the California legislature created Mono County and fixed the county seat here. In 1863, a border survey showed the camp was in Nevada, not California. And the Mono County seat was moved to its current site at Bridgeport, California. We're going to see if we can get to Aurora and go up to the cemetery and look around. The road's getting a little bit more rocky, so we're going to slow down a little bit. And we got some standing water here, so let's see if that car can make it through or not. We'll have to see with this little spot right here. Let's go straight through it. Wow! Just a puddle, goodness. It's like just a puddle, it's like a creek.
Another camp spot.
Oh.
Nice one.
She found a little boondocking spot with some pretty trees. Shade. So yeah, we haven't seen a single bear all summer. But you know the funny thing is that all the places we've gone in the Sierra and so forth, we didn't see any bears. And here we're in Nevada. I bet you if any day we're gonna see a bear, it's today. Because it's still fall, it's cool. And you always see them in all the places that you think, man, there couldn't be any bears around here. It's almost desert, you know? And sure enough, there's a bear there. So I think we're gonna see a bear today. We'll see. Maybe not, but. This side's got more rocks on it than we've seen so far, so. But I still think you could make it in a regular car. I don't have a spare, Kelly, but if we get a flat tire, I'm sure someone will stop by eventually. And
I haven't seen one person.
No. But if we have to spend the night, if no one picks us up, I can't keep the car running because I have just barely enough gas to get there and back. I'm already kind of pushing my luck. But I think, you know, we can go up here to Aurora, look around the cemetery, and I think this truck has still got at least 2 or 3 good starts on it. I was supposed to replace the starter, but I think she's good for a couple more starts, so yeah. Did you bring any water?
I did bring a quart of water.
Well, we can share it. We're still in Nevada, but we're almost in California. Is Aurora one of the towns that they thought was in California? Was that Bodie?
No, that's Aurora.
Aurora. They thought it was in California at one time.
Right, they thought it was in California, and it turned out when they resurveyed it was actually in Nevada.
Yeah. Then they had to do some bureaucratic record changing.
Yes.
That's how it is when we live on the border between California and Nevada. Sometimes you don't even know what state you're in. So tell me a little history, what you know about what happened in Aurora, Nevada when they found out it wasn't in California.
Well, I just know that there was a division in the town. People were really angry over it. Some people wanted it to be Nevada, and some people really wanted it to be California.
Yeah.
They really...
But geography doesn't lie, does it?
That's right. It was surveyed and said, no, this is Nevada. And some people were really angry over it at the time.
That's a big mistake.
Yes, it is.
Didn't even know what state they were in.
No, that's right.
They were paying taxes to the wrong state.
That's right.
Interesting. Especially if there's gold involved, right? That's a lot of money.
Well, there was, and that's the reason why.
Yeah. I really like this interesting rock formation on the road up to Aurora. We're getting out and we're going to check out this water tank along the creek. Huh. It looks completely abandoned and rusted out, doesn't it? Let's go down there and take a look. I'm thinking that has something to do with mining. It looks like some kind of a, I don't know, I think like a blast furnace for a boiler or something?
I have no clue.
Gosh, I really don't know either. Maybe somebody in the comments could tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on mining relics and so forth, but it looks like that. It looks like more like a high pressure tank, you know? And it's right by this little stream. Actually has water in it. I don't think we're the first to come over here and explore this. It's almost like a well-worn path. It's not too far off the road, it's accessible. Look at those stones, they're fitted. Huh. Oh, it's some kind of like a furnace or something. Not sure. These beams are steel. I think they're railroad ties. Railroad ties. And then this hopper. It's got like a hopper. You can close it off or open it. Huh. Goes up in there. There's Kelly down there. Well, I climbed up the hill to get a closer look at this for you all. And you can see how they've used an arch technique that goes all the way back to the ancient Romans to put these bricks in. Should I look down in there? Okay, I'm gonna look for you. Go right over the edge. Look down in here. Huh. It's got, like, on the bottom is a ring of rusted steel. And then it's got this. It goes. Let's see if I can get the inside without falling in. Take a look up there. There's looking up to the top. That's where that big piece of steel is on the top. Did some good brickwork. All these rows are nice and tight. Climb out of here. Oh man. I want this thing caving in. I'm more worried about this hillside than I am about that. Here's the top of this steel. Not sure if it's a smokestack or a tank. I don't know. I'm thinking now it's more of like a smokestack. Really not sure what I'm looking at, but yeah, it's probably some kind of a smokestack. I feel silly making speculations about it, but I'm just going by my observations. There's the side of it. I'm not going to step on that because there's a big crack right there. But let me see how thick this is. I'm going to tap it with a rock. Oh, it's not as thick as I thought. There's the bricks. It's like bricks with a steel on the outside. The steel plate's not that thick. It's a lot thinner than I thought. And speaking of thin, as much as I want to walk across that, I'm not going to try that. It looks like some old concrete. Plus it would damage it. I don't want to damage it. But I'll lean over and you can see how thin that was and how it's constructed. Very interesting. Kelly, I think it's some type of like a kiln, you know, where they're burning something, charcoal or something, and I think this is more of like a smokestack. Gonna come down off this hill. It sure smells good around here. It smells like pinyon pine. It smells really nice. Oh, of course, this is the easy way. I went the hard way to get up there. It's a better shot of it. That's just amazing, those big stones they put together like that. Kelly, I have a suspicion that our forebears were a lot tougher than people are nowadays.
Oh, I know they were. They didn't live very long, though, either.
Yeah. I think it looks like it might have been a hopper. Maybe that's where they unloaded it on the bottom. I'm not sure. What's your thoughts?
It could have been a cart of some sort underneath.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Maybe it's like a loading station or something coming off of that. Whatever it was. Charcoal or something. I really like the view right there. You know, the earth formation. It kind of reminds me of the Badlands of South Dakota. You know, with the different, see the different colors of the clay. Yeah, or even the painted hills in Oregon. It's starting to get a little bit rougher. Mine said Aurora Cemetery. I don't think my truck's gonna make that. I think there's still some active mining going on here, Kelly, because this sign said danger, keep out. And look at that heavy plastic that they use nowadays. Yeah, and look at that holding pond, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely mine here.
There's activity going on here. So there's probably still gold to be found.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah, this road is pretty rough through here. We're just gonna walk this. My little truck can't make it up a road like this. But that's okay, we'll get up there. You can see all the modern mining that's taking place today. Going quite a ways up the hill. Someone was boondocking here and they probably parked their pickup truck and had their campfire. And then they had this beautiful, expansive view. Just imagine at night when the moon's not out and there's no clouds, the amount of stars you could see. You could see meteor showers, shooting stars, everything from here. From this vantage point, you can get a good perspective of a lot of the mining operation. We're just interested in these rock cliffs formations there. And also, if you look farther in the distance, see that big chunk of trees that's been cut out and they're doing mining over there. See, it's all terraced. But I have a feeling if you get to the top of that hill there, I'm pretty sure where we are, that you could get a really good view of Mono Lake. So we finally came up to the site of Aurora, and I'm not sure, but I think it was about at least a mile. I think it's kind of interesting that they had the mining town right on the top of this hill. It's all overgrown with pinyon pines and junipers. Fortunately today, we have the curator of the Mineral County Museum located in Hawthorne, Nevada, which is Mineral County. Now this was erected by Mineral County, and it's honoring the service members who fought in the Civil War, the Mexican War, and even the War of 1812. What can you tell us about this, Kelly?
Well, I remember when they put it up, there was a big ceremony, and during that time, they were preserving the cemetery, and they also put this up during that time.
It's interesting too, because you can see all the different bullets. You got 45, and you've got 357 Magnum, you've got some rifle cartridges and so forth. And it's a little bit more than just the usual coins that you see on a monument. Dennis Biggs, Tennessee volunteer, War of 1812. Mexican War, William Henry Hall, USA, and then the Civil War. Huh. Quite a few are from California. This shows about Aurora, Nevada. You can see some of the buildings back in the day, and you can see how big it was. 1880 to 1890. Of course, there's Samuel Clemens from Missouri, Mark Twain, the author. I think this is an odd place to have a big town, right on the top of a hill, rocky hill. The mine comes first.
Right.
This is one of the most interesting grave monuments I've ever seen. This was a state senator, Senator Boring. He was a native of Tennessee, but he was a Nevada state senator. And you can see where the obelisk that's marking his grave has been strapped next to this big juniper tree with the load strap, and to keep it from falling over, someone took the time to put some rocks under it to kind of help level it out. And here we have the monuments for Henry and Mary Williams. They're both of Ireland, and they died. She was 64 years old. He was 65 years old. He died first in 1890, and she died 2 years later in 92. And very nice monuments. I would think that's a pretty ripe old age for that time in history. But one thing I've noticed is that really the only way that, you know, if I was deer hunting and just came stumbling through here, I wouldn't know there was a town here at all. And if I saw these tombstones, I would have said, well, there was a cemetery here. But I can't see any foundations for any homes or anything that there was a big mining community here. What's the story on that, Kelly?
Well, over the years, it's been pretty picked over from just people carrying things off. And then a newer mine came in and wiped out a lot of stuff too. So between it all, there's just nothing left.
Here's some of the Barlows that are related to the Barlows down in Hawthorne. Of course, Judge Barlow and that part of the family are the people that were involved in getting hold of Dutch Creek, Nevada, up by Walker Lake. We found the graves of some of the family members of the Marden family. That's the Mardens, M-A-R-D-E-N. And here is Daisy. She was only 4 years old. And then we have James, another son. He was 7 years old. And then we have another son. It looks like Haughty Marden. And he was, looks like it says 18. So 2 sons and a daughter here. Well, apparently they had, I believe, 7 children, and they lost quite a few of them. Maybe, I want to say, I'm not sure, maybe 5 or what, you know, during a disease outbreak. And then they lost several others when they were older, I guess teenagers or young adults. Mm-hmm. And so the family lost all their 7 children. What can you tell us about this, Kelly?
Well, they all lost their children, but there's also a book written about it called The Mardens of Aurora.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very popular book, and it's a very tragic story, but it'll tell you their whole life story. It's worth a read.
Some members of the Davis family who had the foresight to put a cross made out of solid steel instead of wood. That one will last a lot longer. Here's an infant. She was only a year old in 1912. What'd you find, Kelly?
I found a grave marker for some people I used to know, Wanda and Alan Conley. I remember Wanda, and Alan was a county commissioner at one time.
Here we have 2 Nevada pioneers. We have David and Ira Hale. Well, it's always sombering to me to walk into a older cemetery, especially one this old, and you see some of the marble monuments have been knocked over and then reset back up, and they're missing parts of the monument itself and even part of the information. And it just goes to show that, you know, even these people that took a lot of pains and effort to make a memorial for their loved ones, that the ravages of time, it's no guarantee that it's gonna be there in the future, you know. And so it's one thing about life, just enjoy every day that we have, because we're all headed to the same condition of the people that are buried here. So it's just a matter of time. It's kind of the ravages of time. There definitely was there's a grave marked there. All they have is a pile of rocks and a rusty can and a tree stump. Well, I'm going to check out the facilities here, everybody, and not much. Make sure there's no snakes. Not much privacy. I think I'll wait. That's pretty much all that's left of Aurora. I love the color of that hill, especially where it's that light green color. See if I can slow down and catch it. I'm catching this turn right here. There it is. That's not interesting. You ever seen anything like that, Kelly?
I have, actually. Different
that green?
areas.
Yeah. It's like a lighter green. really pleasant little creek in here in the desert. And the water looks like it's good water too. This creek's small. It's maybe 2 feet across and just a few inches deep. We're heading down the hill now from Aurora, and we're gonna pass the Fletcher Springs again, and we're gonna head over to the Walker River campground. Not too far from California now.
Very close.
I think we're getting close to the Walker River.
Yep, we are.
So we're getting really close to the Walker River and the Walker River campground. Oh, there's the river. Let's take a look.
Gosh, it looks so deep.
Beautiful Walker River. Really looks like the river's still up quite a bit. It's flowing pretty well.